Good, beautiful morning, beautiful Periscope land. I pray that everyone is doing well. I'm on day 2 of my most wonderful book that I encourage every woman to read, Created to Be His Helpmeet. And today it is called A Merry Heart. And it basically just speaks about being happy, having a joyful heart, and doing everything that you're supposed to do with joy. And a lot of times in life, we find reasons to not be happy. Let's say those Mondays that comes around and everybody dreads Mondays. What if you were happy about Monday? What if it's like, yes, it's a Monday. I get to go back to work and make some money for my family or for myself or to save for whatever you're saving for. What if you change your perspective? Be like, yes, today is another Monday. I am alive. I can go to work. What if you did that? It's the same thing about your marriage. If you come in your marriage and be like, today is another day. I get to see my husband. I get to take care of him and our beautiful children and become better. No, it's not always easy. It's not. There are things that happen that cause us to become frustrated and aggravated. But we have to learn to have peace and just say, yes, God. Yes, God. I'm going to be happy. I'm going to be joyful. I want to read this one part. It says, God says in Proverbs 17:22, a merry heart doeth good like a medicine. A merry heart is the foundation of health and happiness. And the day you have a merry heart will be the first day of rebuilding your marriage into the heavenly gift it was meant to be. Your marriage is a heavenly gift that is the best thing you could ever have. Now, for me, I'm going to say the one thing that came up for me today. Because between yesterday and today, I've done a lot of thinking. God has had me seeing things and understanding things that I really never have, that I really never paid attention to. Not that I haven't, but that I've never really paid attention to. And I let fear take over. Because I'm like, am I going to be able to have a merry heart? Am I going to be able to be joyous? And not because of my husband, because my husband, oh my goodness, my husband has a merry heart. So many people surround him because of his heart, because of how wonderful and happy he is, how much of a loving person he really truly is from the bottom of his heart. From the top of his head to the bottom of his feet, inside and out, my husband is a loving and caring person. He's so filled with joy. But for me, I tend to dwell on things and get focused into my emotions and always letting things get the best of me. And so I'm like, God, but when this happens, what if that happens? How can I handle it? How am I going to be able to do this? How am I going to be able to do that? But God says, just say yes. This is this song. I don't know if you can hear it, but it's by Brian Courtney Wilson. It's just say yes. And God, that's all God has been saying to me this morning. Just say yes. When things come up, just be like, all right. Don't get frustrated. Don't dwell in it. Take a moment. Go, all right. Let's look at what's going on. I mean, really, really take time and go over things. Be like, okay, let me take a moment, let me breathe, let me not react, let me not go off my emotions. Because if I go off my emotions, because I went off my emotions this morning when I let fear take over. And I'm like, fear is not of God. Being in your emotions like that is not of God. And so that is oh goodness, sorry, I lost my train of thought. But that's not right. That's not of God. And if you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing in God, how can you get your marriage right? You're supposed to stay focused. Focused. One thing that really jumped out to me was this one part of the book is called, in this chapter, is called One Ugly Hillbilly. And it tripped me out about how she talked about this woman and seeing her. But it's such a true statement or whatnot. And it has two very good points. I want to read it, and then I'm going to point out the 2 points that I want to really get focused on. One Ugly Hillbilly. A few years back, there was an overweight hillbilly woman who worked in a local store in our hometown. Every time we went into the hardware store, several men would be standing around the counter talking to her. They were always laughing. We usually had to wade through the cheerful crowd and interrupt the gaiety to get served. Her swarm of admirers reminded me of bees around the honey, buzzing with high interest. The strange thing was that the woman was ugly. I mean, hillbilly ugly, which is worse than regular ugly. One day, as we were leaving the store, I laughingly brought to my husband's attention all those men standing around talking to the sales clerk. His reply really surprised me. "Oh, you mean that cute little lady? Live and learn." And apparently, I had something important to learn. In his mind, that lady was cute. Truth is, she was not little, she was not cute, and she was not young. But she did smile, laugh, and giggle, and she was always ready for a clean joke. I loved being in the store, talking to her as much as the men did. She was delightful. A few weeks later, we saw her in the grocery store. She was mad at her very obese daughter for grabbing a handful of candy. Gone were the smiles, giggles, and radiance that had so captivated everyone at the hardware store. In their place was a bitter, ugly snarl. My husband remarked when we left the grocery store, "Haven't we seen that woman somewhere before? She looks familiar, but I just can't place her." When I told him who she was, he was stunned. "No, it's not possible. It just can't be her. The woman in the hardware store doesn't look like that." I could see the truth dawn on him, and he was so disappointed. The funny thing was that the woman looked just like she always did. She was the same size, same scraggly hairstyle, same clothes style, the same everything. She was when she was in the hardware store. All she lacked was her glorious smile. It was her most valuable asset. Her face was always so radiant, her smile so infectious, her laughter so sweet, and her eyes so earnest that people simply saw her as cute. I don't know if she had a husband, but I'm sure she could have had a dozen different men in that small town, as long as they never saw her in the grocery store, mad at her daughter. Everyone is drawn to a smile and wants to be a friend to someone overflowing with goodwill. Men are highly attracted to smiles. That includes your husband. Do you want your husband to stay home more? A merry heart and a mischievous giggles are good drawing cards. A merry heart doeth good like a medicine, but a broken spirit drieth bones. Proverbs 17:22. You may not be an ugly hillbilly, but there are other kinds of ugly. Women spend billions of dollars every year to make themselves more attractive, but the most effective beauty aid is free, a joyful smile. First thing I want to point out is the fact that something so simple as a smile can bring joy to your family, to your husband's heart. But all we as women, because I've seen it over and over again and I've done it myself, want to be angry, frustrated, and give off so much hate and anger and bitterness towards our spouse that we don't think of smiling. All we can think about is the troubles, the fears, the anxieties, the worries. We can never give our husband that peace. He wants to come home and just be like, "Baby, thank you." Can he just come home to happiness, to joy? But then the second thing that I thought about was both appearances that this woman put on. One was happy and joyous. The other was anger and basically bitter. Excuse me. Are you putting on two different faces? Are you being happy and joyous on the outside in front of everybody, and then at your home or with your children and your husband, you're angry and bitter? Is that what you're doing? Are you letting everything that's going on at your home weigh you down when you're home and forgetting about it when you're outside? It shouldn't be like that. Your husband, friends, people around you out in the store, associates, your boss shouldn't see two different people. You should be the same on the inside as you are on the outside of your home. It really made me think, because when we get home, that's when everything weighs down. We let everything weigh us down when we get home, because our majority of our problems are at home. That's where everything is. Or if they're not at home, we bringing the stuff home and letting it weigh on our family. She could have handled that situation so much better, being like, baby, you don't need that. Come on, let's put the candy back. Even in different situations at the stores that I see, excuse me, so many different, even situations at home where we get frustrated and aggravated with our children. My husband and I have been working on just talking with our children and not yelling as much, because we find ourselves yelling so much, and we don't want that spirit of fear or anger and frustration to come out on our children, where our children are fearing us. Yes, we want them to fear us to the point where, to a certain extent, because they be like, okay, that's mom and dad and we need to get straight. But not a fear where it's the point of where they're completely scared of us and not wanting to just be children. Come to your children with a merry heart, being joyful. Be like, hey, that ain't a good decision. Uh-oh, hold on, I got a little one waking up. But come to your children and be like, all right, let's talk. Nope, that ain't right. You can't do that. If your children see your joyful heart and anger, even their hearts will change. They will realize, okay, I can't act like this. My parents are trying to show me the right way. Sorry. No. Come here. You can sit with mom. There we go. They'll start to react a different way. And that's the same thing with your spouse. If you become happy and joyful with situations come up, not even just being happy and joyful, if you change the way you respond, and that's what it's really about, your response. It's just like responding to God. If you respond to God in a negative way, He gonna respond right back, and you gonna get a not so nice retaliation. I'm gonna tell you that. It's not gonna be everything that you want it to be, just because you responded negatively towards God. If we respond negatively towards your husband, he's gonna respond negatively towards you, and you're not gonna be happy. You're not gonna be joyful. But if you take that time and respond positively every time, every situation that comes up, no matter what it is, good or bad, no matter how bad it is, you can change the life of a situation. It's just like there's a story in here where this lady wrote a letter to Miss Debbie. The author of the book is Debbie Pearl. I don't even remember if I said that. But she wrote a letter to Debbie stating that, my husband is having an emotional affair. What am I supposed to do about it? I spoke my piece to him and told him how I felt about it, how it's affecting our family and everything, this, that, and the other. But it seems like he's still doing it. She responded to her saying, you got a couple choices. You can be negative and let go of, tell him about himself and this, that, and the other, which is justified, but is it actually right? Are you right by responding negatively? You might be justified because of what he's doing, but is it the right thing to do? The right thing to do is to show him love. To show him that you are much better than that woman at his job. No. Hold on 1 second. I got a crying baby. Okay, never mind. But show him that you are worth so much more than that crybaby, than that woman that seducing him at work. She might not even be touching him. She might just be crying out to him saying, I'm having this problem and that problem going on and I just want your attention. Sometimes that's all it is. It's about attention. Ooh, sorry. Are you giving your husband that attention? And not just talking to him and being around him. That includes sexually. Are you giving him what he is needed? Sex is not just a want, it is a need for a man and for a woman. When you are a husband and only when you're husband and wife. Let me make that point very clear. Only when you're a husband and wife. Yes, baby. Come here. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come sit down. Sorry, y'all. Only when you're a husband and wife does that matter. Nobody else can please your husband like you can because you were designed for your husband. There's so many women that walk away from marriages because they don't even try. They don't even try to approach their husband with a married heart. I want to read this other part when she talked when she came to this when this letter was wrote to Miss Debbie. No. It says, if you really honestly want to win your husband back yourself, you must change your game plan. Face it, you have a competitor. You might not have a competitor physically or literally that's going on like this lady, that lady that's at work with her husband. But you have competitors. It's just like me. I tell my husband I don't always tell him when I'm feeling insecure about women walking by him or when we go to the gym and work out together and stuff. But we had a conversation the other day or whatnot about my insecurities. But if I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing, taking care of my house, having a merry heart, doing the things that he is needing me to do without him asking of me doing them, there is no reason for me to be insecure. There is no reason for me to have competitors. There are no competitors. When I'm doing what I'm doing, there are no competitors. Because nobody can do what I do for my husband. I am Cheryl D. Shook. And nobody can take my place if I'm doing what I'm doing. Change your game plan. Get up off your tail and be like, I am Mrs. whatever it is. Mrs. White, Mrs. Brown, Mrs. Black, Mrs. White. Get it done. Change your game plan. Get up and have a merry heart. Quit being a negative Nancy. Change your heart. Ladies, I'm telling you, that's all you gotta do is change your heart. Quit worrying about this, that, and the other. Seriously. Love your husband. Make time for your husband. God desires for you to be that helpmeet. 100%. Nothing else will make you more attractive to your husband than being that woman that you're supposed to be. God has desire for you to have a joyful heart for your husband, for him, for your children. Once you have a joyful heart about every situation, no matter what it is, your life will change. I promise you, your life will change. No. Nothing will make your life better once you have a joyful heart. I promise you that. What? Everybody always say that your children should be the light of your life. No. I'm sorry, people. Yes, your children should bring joy to your life, but not more than God. But the most important light, other than God, should be your husband. He should be the one that when he walked through the door, you smiling and ready to give him the best love ever. Sorry, that one want to throw clothes at me. No. Are you ready to be that light for your husband? For that he can be that light for you? I don't care what's going on. If he out there cheating and you still want your marriage, you're going to be that light. You're going to change your game plan. You're going to get up and stand up and say, I'm finna change my game plan. If you got a million people whispering in his ear, excuse me, telling him that you ain't the one for him, that you this, that, and the other, that they don't like you, no matter, even if you doing everything right, you ain't cheating on him and that, and you being home, but everything ain't just right because you're not having a joyful heart. You're not taking care of home like you should. You're not taking care of your husband like you should. Get up and change your game plan. Quit focusing on yourself, being selfish, and doing whatever you want to do. Get up. And let's get things done. I'm telling you, change your game plan. Change it. It's time to change your game plan and get focused on what he is wanting out of you. When you fight, you gotta fight to win. Ooh, sorry. You gotta fight to win and know that the battle is yours. It's already won. The battle isn't yours. It's already won. My bad. You've already won. Have a joyful heart and be like, I got this. Know that you got it. Get up on your feet and be like, I got this. That's what I had to say when fear came in. I'm like, I'm looking at everything. I'm like, I'm like, did I really just let fear defeat me? Let me get up on my feet. That's just like a quote my daughter said this morning because she was reading something on the board. We passed by after coming home, taking my husband to work. She was like, Mommy, I don't understand. Because it said, winners don't quit and quitters don't win. She's like, Mommy, I don't understand that. Winners, people who get up and be like, I'm not going to let this defeat me. Stop. are not going to quit. They're going to keep pushing. That's why I say fight to win. And then it says quitters don't win. If you quitting, if you giving up, if you throwing your hands, being frustrated, aggravated, and letting life and emotions and everything else take over you, you ain't gonna win. You won't win your husband over. He'll be sitting there with them competitors out there in the street, whether it's 2 or 3 of them or only one of them. Are you gonna fight to win? Or you gonna be like one of them quitters and just give up? Come on, people, let's get up. Come on, ladies, let's fight to win. Fight to win for your marriage. We are beautiful inside and out, no matter what nobody else says. Thank you. There are going to be plenty of men that say we don't look good. There are going to be plenty of women who say, what the hell was he thinking? He could have something so much better. Well, what is that something so much better that they got over you? If your husband chose you, you are it. God designed you for him, not them for him. Get up on your feet. Say that I know that this is mine. I am Mrs. So-and-so, and I am here to fight to win. You got to believe it over everybody else. Now, I pray that this scope has blessed you in some way, shape, or form. And I pray that you have a wonderful and magnificent day, beautiful people of God. Blessings to you and yours. I was thinking, dude.